Hey folks, good morning to you. We are inside the Henry Ford Museum and we're about to take a peek at the presidential limousines. It's a pretty heavy display as they have the old Lincoln that JFK was assassinated in, as well as the Ronald Reagan Lincoln, as well as FDR's, Teddy Roosevelt, and someone else, I can't remember. I'm not going to speak through this one. I may say something around the JFK car, but just enjoy what's here, and I'll get back with you, well, in a bit. So right here is the seat in the jumper seat where President Kennedy was assassinated. We've all seen the film Jackie O climbing out the back on the trunk, supposedly to gather pieces of what was taken away from her husband. It's a somber moment, but man, what a piece of history. It's likely the most important car here. It's the 1896 Ford Quadricycle, which was basically a buggy with a motorcycle engine. Here you'll find a 1943 Willys Jeep. These are often credited as probably the secret weapon that kept us in the war, or a utility vehicle that were just indispensable. This Volkswagen Beetle is one of the more rare you'll see. It has the split back window. As a Toyota employee, the last car you just saw there is a pretty important one. It's a 1966 Toyota Corona. At the time, Toyota had actually been here in like 1958, but made in Japan was seen as a lesser quality vehicle. So they came back in 1965 and they brought with them the Corona, that being the 66 model. As they became more dependable and the big three struggled with quality during the 70s, Toyota really took a grasp, and J.D. Power will tell you all you need to know. We're one of the best manufacturers on the planet now. It's pretty awesome. Here's yet another important car as a Toyota employee. This is the 2002 Prius. It took an old concept. A hybrid engine is well over 100 years old. It took the old concept, brought it to the new age, and it's created a revolution that's hopefully changing the earth. We'll see how it all turns out, I reckon. next section I'm fixing to take you guys through is all about drag racing, racing in general, drag racing, F1, NASCAR, you name it, really. I'll tell you about a couple cars in here that are pretty cool. But for now, see you on the flip side. The significance of this car is Lotus partnered up with Ford Motor Company to help build engines to give them an advantage racing. In the background you can see a photo of Jim Clark as he won the Indianapolis 500 in 1965 with this very car. This car is special to me for a couple reasons, mainly for nostalgia. And what I mean by that was, I was growing up in the early 80s. My dad used to live in a little town in Kentucky called Cumberland. In Cumberland, they had a Ben Franklin, which is kind of like a 5 and dime store. There, my dad picked me up a toy car of A.J. Foyt. I don't know where that car's at now, but I sure would love to have it. You can see A.J. himself on the back here in the photo, as he won the Hoosier 100 in 1960 with this very car. Check out this absolutely stunning 1966 Ford Galaxy. This was raced by Ringo Scott in NASCAR. What a freaking beautiful race car. Who knew C-3PO actually set the world land speed record? Huh. Next, we're going to see something very cool. Probably planted the seed of what I'm trying to do right now. And Charles Carrot on CBS used to have a television show called On the Road, where they essentially had a motorhome, camper, Winnebago, whatever you'd like to call it. Charles would go around the country and film his interactions. It's pretty cool. So his vehicle is parked right here. You read that right. Probably the oldest surviving school bus in the United States of America. This is a 1948 Tucker. If you haven't seen a movie or know anything about Mr. Tucker, essentially he was so far ahead of all the other manufacturers that they conspired with each other to shut him down and put him out of business. So this is a very, very unique and important car. I'll stop over here for just a second. And again, feel free to pause it if you want more information. There is absolutely nothing like a Deucenberg. This is a 1931 Model J. So take a look at that. Yes, that's a convertible. There's some incredible things here at the Henry Ford, but there's nothing more impressive or just jaw-dropping than this tiny little snowplow for the railroad. Is that not insane? Take some extra time on this next car I'm about to show you. It was a safety car created by companies to advance, I guess, the automotives. There's things like a center console or a center seat where the driver would pilot with levers instead of steering wheel. There's wraparound bumpers, there's seat belts, there's all these different things that didn't exist back then. So this is a very important car in the evolution of transportation and what we have and what we do today. So check this out.
reason to doubt that our beloved aviatrix would overcome all the obstacles to once again inspire a nation. It was her charm, an endearing combination of sweetness, beauty, and bravery that we'll always remember when looking back on one of history's most remarkable women. Before Amelia, two brave souls also tried to fly around the world and face the dangers of the Pacific. Follow the lights to hear their story.
This section is a difficult one, but it's necessary to understand history so we don't repeat it. It's pretty wild. You know, we original copy of the Stamp Act of 1765. Unbelievable. Thomas Jefferson was in the original portrait by Rembrandt. There's an ad with Thomas Jefferson, and here is his portable writing desk and copying press from about 1877. So this thing right here is incredible. Let me show you real quick. This is a folding bed, and his trunk and his utensils that General George Washington, used from 1775 to 1780. Incredible. It's crazy what you can find here. What you're about to see is, it's breathtaking. It's one of those moments in history that without it, we don't get to be who we are today, but the importance of what you're about to see is not lost on me at all. This is the actual chair from Ford's Theater that President Abraham Lincoln was sitting in when John Wilkes Booth cowardly assassinated him. From Lincoln to this, the most disgusting thing you could probably ever see. I hate it. I don't want to put it in here, but if we don't learn from history, we're destined to repeat the mistakes of the past. This is a segregated waiting room. That's enough of that crap. When I turn this corner, you're going to see something that's amazing. The simple act of saying no sparked the civil rights movement in the United States and changed the world forever, and in an immensely more beautiful way. This bus was found. It was very deteriorated, but the Ford Museum purchased it. The Ford Museum, you just got to see it. It's beautiful. I don't want to bore you with my crazy thoughts, but here you go. It's a Ford Model T blown apart, so you can see the parts and how they all go together. Pretty wild. And here's what you've all been waiting for. The original Oscar Mayer Weinermobile. Come on. Really? Come on. You're welcome. We're at the very first Ford plant. I don't know how you say it. I guess it's Paquette. Ford Paquette plant. Jeff is over there doing his thing. He's more the automotive guy than I am, but thought I'd throw this in a video for you. Check it out. It's a very old building, very cool, full of old cars. I think his office is in there the way he left it, and hopefully we'll get to go here one day. So check it out. Here's a bit of forgotten Detroit history. Many times when Motown was booked up, which was often, they needed another studio. So kind of the second home here in Detroit was called the United Sound Systems Recording Studios. And I'm about to show you that. It's no longer a thing. There is a historical sign, and I'm hoping and praying that they do restore or at least preserve this place. You can name the Rolling Stones, Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye. I mean, you could pick whoever you want, and the list is profoundly long. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So again, this place is it's no longer good. It's heartbreaking, but this was the United Sound Systems. It was originally bought by a violinist and sound engineer. And in 1946, the internationally broadcast interracial goodwill program was recorded here. Artists who created music here in the 40s and 50s included John Lee Hooker, Johnny Ray, Dizzy Gillespie, Jackie Wilson, and Alberta Adams. I really wish I could get in there and just see what's left. The last time it was open, it was in 2014. Some things online say it's actually still functioning. So I don't know, but it looks pretty rough, but it's on the historical registry now, so hopefully they'll save this and do something with this. It was an older home converted to a studio in the middle of a very busy neighborhood, and it's pretty run down around here now, but this is very, very important. Hope you guys enjoy. Randomly, we drove by this house earlier in the day, and I swore that it was Marvin Gaye's house, but we were already past it. Fast forward a couple hours, and I'm like, man, that's still bothering me. That had to be the house. So we looked it up, and sure enough, before Marvin Gaye owned it, his brother-in-law, Barry Gordy, of course, of Motown, he owned the house, and Marvin, I guess, bought it from him. So that was pretty wild, but I'm so happy that we were able to spot that. That was just too cool. If you like what you saw there, let us know in the comments below. Go ahead and throw a like on it if you want. Share it. Why not? Sharing is caring, right? Until next time, see ya.